So how'd the con go?
It was very good. I enjoyed myself.
Really? That's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
So Peter Cowper, who was the very first minor
Nice.
in My Bloody Valentine, he signed it, and then he goes, "I have to put the minor right there on the light."
That's amazing.
And then Nick Castle's line was fucking huge all weekend, but just as I was about to leave,
Which one was he?
he's the original Mike Myers
Gotcha. Okay. From Halloween 1?
from Halloween 1.
Okay.
Not the kid. The kid was there too, but
Right.
with the adult Mike Myers. So I got my Mike Myers signed as well.
That's amazing.
Because as we were leaving, he had only like 3 people in line. I'm like, I must take this opportunity. I'm not even kidding. Like, his line was out the goddamn door all day.
Well, I
like,
bet. I bet.
And then because he's credited as the Shape in the, well, I just touched his crotch, but
The Shape.
so he's Nick Castle, the Shape. Well, that's what they called him in the first movie.
Oh, they didn't give him a name.
Yeah, just the Shape.
Interesting.
And I did not bring them upstairs, but I did meet all the Killer Clowns cast that was there.
That's fantastic.
So for those that don't know me, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, like one of my fucking favorite movies ever.
I grew up on Killer Clowns.
So I got to meet Grant Kramer, who was Mike Tobacco, Suzanne Snyder, who was the main female, whose name escapes me. She was like Debbie.
Bunch of punks. What? It was just a little wine. That was all.
And 2 of the clowns. So
Wait
I
a
got
minute.
to meet Mike Martinez, who played Slim, and then I got to meet Herod Blank.
You said you met the main female actress that was there, the blonde?
Yeah, Suzanne Snyder.
She's in fucking Weird Science, and I love her in Weird Science. Holy shit.
I sent you the photos, dude.
I didn't know that was her.
That's her.
That was my sexual awakening right there.
Well, she's adorable.
Hang on, let me go back and take a look at that picture again.
Yeah, blow it up a little bit. She let me pick what quote I wanted on it, so my signed autograph says, I'll take pictures of the autographs later. Popcorn? Why popcorn? Because they're clowns, that's why.
Wow, she still looks great.
Yeah.
She still looks fantastic. That is amazing. What was she selling there? Was that like handcrafted wallets and purses?
Her? No. She was just there for autographs. So she had pictures out for Weird Science, for Killer Clowns. Just like Grant Kramer had pictures out for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I don't know if you've ever been to a horror convention. I know you're going to one next month.
No, I never have.
But usually when you have celebrity guests, they'll try to bring an array of photos that you can choose. That way, if you don't know them for the reason why they're there,
right,
something else, you can still get a picture of it.
Now, I've been to several comic conventions. I've been to Wizard World in Chicago. I've been to Wizard World in Nashville. The first convention I ever went to was a very tiny anime and comic book convention in Knoxville. I went to that. And I've been to a couple of other ones. But at all of them, there was horror-esque stuff.
Right.
The one in Chicago is where I met Stan Lee. Got to get his autograph and talk to him and have him tell me you're damn right. Okay, let me tell you that story. I don't know if I've told you that story before.
I don't think so.
Okay, story time. Story time. Okay, so an aunt that I have, her daughter, wanted to go to Wizard World Chicago, but did not want to go alone. So she asked me to go with her.
Don't blame her. Wizard World Chicago's huge.
Well, it was at that one hotel, the Rose something. It was like not too far from O'Hare.
I know, it's at Rosemont Convention Center. It's where
yeah, exactly.
It's still easy to get lost.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well. See, I was married at the time, so my ex-wife went, and all of our kids, her 2 kids, and then my 2 kids. We went there and I got to talk to George Perez, if anybody knows who he is with comic books and stuff. He's super famous, did a lot of work for DC, did a lot of work for Marvel. If you know the name, you know who he is. But talked to him, and he took the time out to talk to the kids and all that stuff. Super cool dude. And I had him sign my Infinity Gauntlet #1. that I had, and I had gotten tickets to get an autograph from Stan Lee, and I was trying to figure out what fucking book I was going to get that man to sign. And I had been fighting with it all day. Like I had a Daredevil issue, I had a Spider-Man issue, and then I looked at that Infinity Gauntlet #1. I was like, well, shit, Val, have him sign that. It's got all the characters that he fucking created on it.
Yeah.
So I got in line, talked to a bunch of people that were in line and stuff like that. And
you have to. You're going to be waiting. When you're waiting in a long line, you make friends.
Well, we were in line for, I think, an hour waiting for him. My ex-wife and all the kids went off somewhere else, and me and my cousin and my aunt's boyfriend at the time were all in line waiting to go. And so finally, Stan's handlers come up, and they get everybody to quiet down, and they're like, okay, Mr. Lee will be out in just a moment, but there are some rules that you need to follow. And we're all standing there, you know, we're like, boo, bring on Stan Lee, we don't give a fuck about you, all that stuff. But we listened, you know, we were patient because we'd been waiting for an hour. And they said, do not talk to Mr. Lee. If Mr. Lee talks to you, you say yes, you say thank you, and you move on. If you have more than one book that you want to get signed by him, you cannot stand there and wait for each book to get signed. You have to do one, then go to the back of the line and do it again until your tickets are gone. Yeah, that's fine. So Stan comes out, and he looks exactly like you think he would look. He looks like a 96-year-old grandfather that's very short, but he's got those super awesome Hugh Hefner sunglasses on, and you know, he waves at everybody, and he's wearing the sweater and all that stuff, and he looks like he's about ready to fall apart. And he comes out and he sits down, and the handlers say something to him, and you see him just kind of waving them off. And the line starts moving, and we're moving, and I've got my Infinity Gauntlet #1 to get signed and all that stuff, and I get up to the handlers before him. So Stan is to the left of me, and Stan did not give a shit what his fucking handlers had said to him. He was talking to everybody, and he was taking the time to have a conversation with everybody that was in that line. So
Enigma took my shot glass.
Sorry. No, that's okay. So I slide my book up. They take it out of the plastic sleeve, and they look it over, make sure nothing's gonna be in there to hurt him or anything like that, and they push it along.
Yeah, you definitely hit a bomb in there.
Yeah, no shit. But I walk over to Stan Lee, and I'm standing there, and I'm sweating bullets, man. This is Stan fucking Lee. And he says, how you doing today, son? And I said, I'm good, Mr. Lee. I'm real good. How are you? He goes, oh, I'm great. I said, oh, that's awesome. That's great to hear. And he's got the book in front of me, and he's looking at it, and he looks up to me, and he says, where do you want me to sign this? I said, anywhere will do, Mr. Lee. I said, anywhere is just fine. And he takes the Sharpie, and he points, and he's like, is here good? I said, yeah, that's good. And he looks right at me without missing a beat, and he goes, you're damn right it is. Signs the fucking thing, slides it to me, says Excelsior. I crack the fuck up and walk out. And that's my story of how I met Stan Lee.
Oh, always fun. You would have fangirled a little bit because Meatloaf was at Flashback.
I would have fangirled a lot because Meatloaf is in my top 3 favorite.
And you have to realize this is not like Stan Lee where there's like these security guards or anything. Mm-hmm. I was literally 2 feet away from him.
That's
at
amazing.
A door with nobody going, you're too close to Mr. Loaf. But here's what happened.
I have some ketchup. Would that be okay? Or brown sugar?
Here's what happened. Okay. I do like Meatloaf, but thank you so much, my love.
Thank you, dear.
I do like Meatloaf.
Mm-hmm.
He also says thank you, dear. But just because I'm a fan of somebody doesn't mean I need their autographs, you know? Just kind of, to me, just kind of seeing them is super cool.
Right, because you got that right here.
Yeah. It's kind of like when I went into New Orleans with my mom and my sister in 2018. I was walking down the road, and Rod Stewart walked right past us.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, it's a fucking Rod Stewart? Because my sister missed it, and he turned around and he goes, yeah, hi, and he walks away, and I was like, okay.
I'll tell you another celebrity story after you're all done.
But towards the end of the day, kind of like how I got the Nick Castle, there wasn't a long line for Meatloaf. And by the way, Meatloaf's line was not super long throughout the whole day.
That's crazy.
What was long was that he took 45 fucking minutes with each person.
That's amazing, though. He took the time to talk to everybody.
And you could see his handler freaking out every 5 seconds going, you need to, and he just oblivious. So I get into the small line that's there, and I know it has to be small for a reason. I was just going to get an autograph for my father-in-law and for my father, if I could. It was whatever.
For Meatloaf?
For Meatloaf.
Nice.
I obviously didn't get the autograph because you would have heard about it, but
Right.
there's a sign there that lets you know how much he is, right? $50 for one autograph, and then an extra $50 for a photo. That's actually super expensive for Flashback, for those that don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's Meatloaf, though. 50 for an autograph and 50 for a picture.
80 if you wanted to do both. Some people just
Son
want
of
a photo.
A bitch.
$70 if you wanted an autographed drum cover, because he had drum covers with the Bat Out of Hell album.
Nice.
That he would sign for you. So people were, because he's never been on one of these conventions before that I can remember, people did bring like 4 items and just fucking paid. They don't care.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, if I do get up there, because there's a reason why this line's this short right now, I'm like, I'll get one for my dad, for my father-in-law, but I'll get the combo and I'll just say the photos for me, right? Because no one else was there. Well, he took so long with the people that he was with that the 10 of us that were in line got cut off.
Aww.
Because he was 30 minutes late to his photo op. But you're still at a table, he's only a couple feet away, and while he's talking to them, he's also talking to the whole line. And if he got tired of writing, he would stand up and he would just walk the line and just say hi to everybody and then walk back because he had to stretch.
That's amazing.
As his handler cuts him off, because he was going to come back to sign more autographs. Like, I could have stayed there and been one of the first people for this next round, but it was like 5 o'clock. My mom is disabled, so I was like, I'm not going to wait. And not for somebody that I don't want to be like, I need your autograph.
Right.
But as he gets up, he goes, I am very sorry. I am very late for my photo ops. He goes, stay here, and we're going to have a fucking party when I come back. And I was like, and I went, sounds good. He goes, I like you. And he walks away, and I'm like, I won't be here. I'm sorry.
That's amazing. Wait a minute. Where's that girl? Where's that redheaded girl? She's not here no more. Fuck.
No. And my mom was like, you can get back in line, because there's still only like 5 of us.
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't matter to me. And my dad, he's hit and miss with autograph. I could go buy one online for my dad and it'd have the same effect. And for my father-in-law, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, why not? If you can, just be nice. But I'm like, no, you know what? I got the Killer Clowns that I wanted. I got Peter Cowper that I wanted, the minor from My Bloody Valentine. And I got Nick Castle, which was supposed to be just like, a last-minute thing. I'm like, so I'm happy. I'm content.
I would be too.
The only other autograph I wanted that I couldn't get because there was no getting into his line unless he wanted to wait 90 minutes was Kane Hodder.
Jason? Nice.
I brought Baby Jay with me just in case. But his line was in.
Oh, I bet.
All weekend. Which is weird because he comes to these things often. So I'm like, where was everybody?